Okay, setting proper motivation. Again, a reminder: whatever we are doing in this the morning session, the first session of the morning is for us to learn. If we are to design our daily practice, for example, like what we learned, the whole purpose is to shed tears for yourself, to get rid of the miseries, and then to get rid of the misery, help get rid of miseries for others. If this is what you intend to do, then our job is to resort to the remedies or a set of practice on a daily basis, like taking the dose of medicines every day for 6 months to recover from tuberculosis. Likewise, this chronic disease of self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, we need to take a dose of medicines every day so that this chronic disease can be eradicated gradually, without which we can't expect that you do something very intense for 10 days and then they leave it, nothing will happen. So therefore, and particularly the the ones who come here in the mornings, the first session, which means that you have some say aspiration. Otherwise, you can have extra 1 hour sleep, but you sacrifice that, come here, and there's the burning aspiration, wanting to do something, make purpose out of our being together. And of course, some are different. Some have their own personal practice. That's a different story. Otherwise, just lying down, sleeping, and some, of course, they're sick. That's a different story. So it's entirely individual business. And those who come here, you want to learn something. That's so important. And some may be seniors still coming here to be a part of the group, to inspire the younger ones, newcomers. That's very precious. Okay, so in essence, what I'm saying is that we're going to remember, if possible, try to remember each point from setting the proper motivation. 3 points like this. Try to remember all these things, and then later on in your own the daily practice, see if you can remember these points. Okay, with this mind, setting a proper motivation has 3 points: refuge field, bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge field: visualize all the enlightened beings, any enlightened being who you see as the source of blessings in terms of helping you to generate bodhicitta, expansive, compassionate mind of bodhicitta, and the very profound, the fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness, like Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Jesus Christ, or Lord Ram, or Prophet Muhammad, Lord Mahavir, or Guru Nanak, or Abraham, or any such enlightened beings. And that they are so loving, caring, embracing to you. Bodhicitta field. Visualize your two parents on the two sides and all the demons sentient beings around you, including your children. And in fact, all the creatures, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone, all the trillions of creatures who have to live in fear in the oceans, in the wilderness. Just visualize all of them. And even the spirits, they have to live in fear because we're being bullied by the more powerful spirits. And the purpose of this practice is to awaken the Buddha nature. Always remember that I have the Buddha nature. Each one of us have the Buddha nature. And this needs to be awakened. Awakened through a proper systematic way by eliminating mental defilements, and wish that too to be done by introducing a very powerful remedy, wisdom of emptiness, and that must be complemented by a very powerful motivation, bodhicitta, and this must be driven by great compassion and must have the foundation of renunciation. So with this mind, let's turn to page 3. And this with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha divine for all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye joda zoge chonam la e chanjo bardo dane gyabzo che dage jinso kebe sonam ge chola benjere sanye drubare sho sanye joda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dane gyabzo che dage jinso kebe sonam ge Tola benjere sanye drubare sho sanye joda soge chonamla chanjo bardo dane gyabso che dage jinso kebe chonamgi Tola benjere sanye drubare sho. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all leads hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes was helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue and expand the varieties of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who guard and protect her to you make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tum te sham datha gato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha eva vate mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tum te sham datha gato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vate mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tum te sham datha gato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vate mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessational causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, Begila, page number 6. Begi, page number 6. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-lighted, non-composite. Such is the nectar-led Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the woods. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I bear obeisance. The 4 seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay, again, a quick reminder: as we recite these verses, these compositions, praise to Shakyamuni. I say in some context meaning in some other traditions, you praise whatever the god or so forth, so that you will grant the blessings, so forth. This is not the idea here. By praising the Buddha, there's no difference to Buddha. Whether you praise, not praise, Buddha will not. There's nothing really. Buddha loves you unconditionally, whether you praise, not praise. But the point is that if you praise it, then what is happening is that when you praise means you praise something with the good qualities, that you have this quality, that quality, these good qualities. So keep in mind that Buddha was once as ordinary as what we are today. And through his efforts, now he became the fully enlightened one. I can also become one like him. This is what he taught us, that he inspired us, he inspired us to discover our own Buddha nature. So he wants us to become enlightened like him. For that matter, so what are the qualities on basis of which Buddha Shakyamuni is being praised? And see if some of these qualities are within yourself. If you do find the similitude of some of these qualities, rejoice and see how to nurture them further. It is through cultivating these qualities that you become enlightened. And in case, if you don't see even a similitude of these qualities within yourself, remember that you have the seeds, you have the Buddha nature. So we need to germinate these seeds, these qualities, focus on these qualities, and then once germinated, see how to enrich them further, expand it further. So this is the whole purpose, to remind ourselves what to do to become enlightened for the benefit of yourself and for all Dhamma sentient beings. Okay. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the fourth destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pace out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you are prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dusty like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merits with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of a dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the wage of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29, Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate without a triple gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Valshas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed on a concentration in the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also, at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness is empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, and deficient. Not fulfilled, Shariputra, therefore in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composing factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object to touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on. No mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging in death and no extinction of aging in death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation of path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest the completely awakened, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment, reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared: Yata Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice a profound perfection of wisdom just as you indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those around in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that is spoken by the Buddha. As we recite the Heart Sutra mantra, just visualize that you are in Rajgir, Vulture's Peak, and there the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness, the Lama, Avalokiteshvara, the Arhat Shariputra, they're all just in front of you, and there you are surrounded by your two parents, all of them now missing their children, and all other demonstration beings living on the side. And imagine that the Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting us thus: don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come towards ultimate happiness. Awaken your Buddha nature and stop all the tears of samsara. And you're hearing what the Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting. You inform this to all your demonstration beings, that everybody hears what you're saying. They're so overjoyed to join you in this journey of cleansing the mind of the mental defilements, to experience infinite happiness and the total fearlessness. So with this mind, let's recite this 7 times. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam gate bodhisvaha tyatha Om gate gate Paragate Parasam gate bodhisvaha tyatha Om gate gate Paragate Parasam gate bodhisvaha tyatha Om gate gate Paragate Parasam gate bodhisvaha. By the teaching of three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. 8 verses mind training, page 35. By Geshe Dorji. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrong with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I held or in whom I placed great hopes mistakes me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast as space that I've amassed, for working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds were blinded by ignorance. 7 in practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, an extraordinary expression of the practice of Samadhi. I bow down to you, beautiful Adam and Yushri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as particles, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With the infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you as Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense are offered to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array offered to you, victorious ones. With transcendental offerings, peerless and vast, with a profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here are still training in those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained a Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, material offering. Next page. This ground, adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha felt and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sajibe Geshe Dorji Mendo Tam Venerable Geshe Dorji Sangye Shendo Me De Buvaye Jogananda Shalai Chubarai Sho. Four Dhammas of Venerable Gambaba. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that my path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The 4 Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasp at true existence. Please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mendela Gamne Rateyami. The foundation of all good qualities, the roadmap to enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and a perfectly pure Guru. Correct devotion, by clearly saying this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect, understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful, and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm conviction, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable, seeking them the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this ascended practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all my mighty beings. Please bless me to say this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, Please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to cultivate within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training the internal path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the separate. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path, who practice that have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may quality in the state of Vajradhara. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losang Traba at your feet and make prostrations. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, the master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the land, sages of the land of snows, Losang Taba at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, next, Tamje Nejuk Semkyepa, generating the mind of consummate yoga. For this 4 points, the first, shamatha meditation, to stabilize mind, 5 minutes. Are you ready? Okay, next, renunciation. Renunciation, we do that on the basis of the 4 seals. Okay, ready? What is important is that as I give the instructions, just try to remember these points, the points on the basis of which the meditation is to be built. And then later on, it is not necessary that you have to follow how I instructed. You can design your own practice, you can design your own reflections, and the points, you can bring the points from your own studies, reflection, and meditation. Till you become more self-sufficient, you can then rely on these instructions. Then later on, once your learning becomes good, then you can design your own practice. But the main skeleton remains the same. Renunciation, the Singapore meditation, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, and then taking the experience bodhisattva vow. Okay, ready? Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce our miseries. And we seek the maximum happiness, and we shun the miseries. But we don't know how to shun the miseries. So if we want to get rid of the miseries, renounce miseries, we need to know how to renounce causes of the miseries. Given that as long as causes are there, the miseries cannot be avoided, no matter what you do to remove them. This is what the Buddha indicated as Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. So what are the causes of miseries? Again, the same mantra said, Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavatat. These causes are taught by the Tathagata. And what are the causes which the Buddha taught? Arinigarjuna indicated. Season karmas afflictions is nirvana. Afflictions and karmas and afflictions arise from conceptualization of the inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from the self-grasping ignorance. And the ignorance ceases through the wisdom of emptiness. Here, Arinigarjuna explained what the Buddha taught in the form of contaminant karmas. Misery is given rise to by contaminant karmas, afflictions, here the gross afflictions, in turn by the conceptualization or the inappropriate attention, and finally self-grasping ignorance. And for the self-grasping ignorance to manifest into its offshoots in the form of gross afflictions and so forth, that must be complemented by self-centered attitude. So this is what we learned. So from this, what we see is that the root of all the miseries is ignorance. And the ignorance, there are various levels. And Buddha identified, out of millions, Buddha identified 4, which are of direct relevance to our led to miseries. Misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent, misconceiving miseries as happiness, misconceiving impure things as pure, and finally misconceiving selfless nature of selfhood. To counteract these 4 misconceptions with the ignorances, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. And the 4th one is the resolving state, and the first 3 consist of the 4 remedies to overcome the 4 levels of ignorance. First, all composite things are impermanent. Composite things meaning things which are composed of temporal parts and directional parts. As long as something is composed of these parts, should necessarily go through impermanence, change. What is impermanence? Is of 2 kinds, gross and subtle. The gross one referring to the impermanent phenomena whose continuum terminates, whereas the subtle impermanence referring to not those impermanent phenomena whose continuum does not terminate. This is not a connotation of subtle impermanence. Subtle impermanence is momentariness, which underscores all impermanent phenomena, including the gross ones. Even the gross impermanent phenomena, they say we are not hands, but we have hands. Likewise, the gross impermanent is not subtle impermanent, but has subtle impermanence. What is gross impermanence? Gross impermanence is so important for us to reflect on, without which the value of understanding, value of contemplating on subtle impermanence will not ever arise. Gross impermanence, such as the impermanence of a death, which is indicated by the demon in the mouth of, which is indicated by the wheel, the painting of the wheel of life, where the wheel is in the hand of is in the mouth, the fangs of the demon. As long as you are in the demon's fangs, there's no escape. It's death. This is impermanence of death, and it's so painful to see, witness, even to hear of somebody going through this, and somebody having to bear the weight, the gravity of the miseries, the pains, to see their loved ones just dying. Is so painful. Again, it happens to us, each one of us, it happens to others, and the pain that we go through is so acute, agonizingly painful. Likewise, in some places, yesterday it was a very lively village, and the next day everything washed away. No trace of village left by the tsunamis, by earthquake, and so forth, which is so painful. And our beautiful youth, when we are teenagers, now they're gone. The continuum of being teenager is all gone. Believe it or not, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 200 years ago, this particularly, I think 2,400 to 500 years ago, at the time of the Buddha, the whole planet Earth has only about 200 million human beings. And where are they? Today, not even a single person's left. And there were young people like you, elders like us. And where are they now? They're all gone. Not even a single person left today. And it's not that they are unfortunate, we are fortunate that we're still alive. No, it's a matter of time, 200 years down the line in the future. Not even a single person out of those 8 billion human beings will be survived then. And out of 99% of these 8 billion human beings will not even be remembered after 200 years. Just tell me, who is your great-great-grandfather, great-great-grandmother? I have no clue. So not only that you disappear, even the memory from the people disappears. This impermanence. And what underscores this gross impermanence, the continuum of which disappears, even the very pleasant moments, they all disappear. Always remember, when you celebrate birthday parties or when you have a family gathering, beautiful moments, remember, you can enjoy, but remember that it's a matter of time. That too will disappear. That too will pass away. Remember that. And then engage in these beautiful moments, but with the memory, with the knowledge, with the awareness that even this will disappear. Remembering the Buddhist, all composite things impermanent. What underscores all this gross impermanence is the subtle impermanence the Buddha taught. Whatever is gathered will disperse. Whatever is accumulated will exhaust. Whatever is born will die. And all these mummies, the mummies of the pharaohs, pyramids, and all these old forts, old castles, now abandoned fully, just become museums. Ordinary people can go so freely to talk about these people who once owned this, as so like this is their possession. This is what they possess. Now they are left. This possession, who possess them? Ordinary people. Just look at them. Talk about These people who saw themselves as so special, so divine, they're all gone. There's impermanence. And what underscores all this is a subtle impermanence, momentary change that we surround. If you don't understand what is momentary change, press the timer of your mobile, and you must watch it. You must watch it. Press the timer of the mobile or stopwatch your mobile and see how the digits moves so fast. The change that you see over a span of 1 year is possible only if the change happen on the monthly basis, which in turn is because of the weekly basis change, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis. So when it's on second by second, yes, we can see the change. Tick, 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 tick. We can see it. This is how our body moves. Because we see that the body that we have now in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s was not the same when you were 10 years old. 10 years old, your body was so tender. Skin complexion, flexibility, and so forth. Now you don't have this. It changed. This change was not overnight. This was a gradual change that over that span over the last 10, 20 years, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and so forth. And this change happening over the annual basis is because of the monthly and so forth, and make it shorter, shorter, shorter. Then it comes to a second, then the millisecond, 1 second split into 1,000 times. So where in reality our eyes are so gross that it cannot see the reality. Forget about reality in the form of emptiness. Even the reality in the form of subtle impermanence is not what we are seeing, but this is what governs the whole universe, subtle impermanence. It's very scary. It is like you being thrown in a very fast moving train. Your body is like a fast moving train. Whole world is fast moving train. Your parents, to whom you love so much, your children, every creature, every sentient being is like a very fast moving train. Faster the train moves, more the fear. Imagine that somebody, unknown person, throws you into a very fast moving train. What's the experience like? So much fear. The faster the train moves, more the fear. Okay, why fear? If this train, which is moves so fast, which is decided by the way the train moves is decided by the driver. If the driver is your parents, no doubt it'll take you to pick the spot. That's good. But if the driver is a terrorist or under the dictate of the terrorist, no doubt it'll take you to a slaughterhouse. And in that case, the driver is our mind, and the mind is unfortunately under the dictate of the worst of the contaminations, worst of the terrorist, worst of contaminations, which is self-grasping ignorance. So this will take us only to the miseries. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are self in nature. Miseries like what? Sickness. On top of the sickness, aging, death, tension, stress, anxiety, and so forth. With all these unbearable pains of losing near and dear ones and so forth. One moment of such a pain is good enough to nullify all the past moments of merriments, festivities, birthday parties, picnics, and so forth. Yes, everything seems so shallow and hollow, meaningless, so grim in the face of one moment of such a tragedy. Everything is just meaningless. Everything gets shattered. This is how extreme, ultra-rich people, very powerful people, when they see that their near and dear ones are lost, they become so weak. They become so desperate, destitute. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things suffering nature. Okay, yes, that's true. 2023, it stopped on its own. When will these tears and the miseries, agonizing pain stop? 2023 stopped on its own, and our youth stopped on their own. But these miseries will never stop until you put a concerted effort. What kind of effort is required? Yes, We can't just say that I will not have misery, I will not come to samsara anymore. Unless until you tackle the cause of the miseries, even though you don't like to be in samsara, this is no choice. You be perpetuatedly thrown in samsara endlessly. So, how to stop this? If there is a way out, what is the way? How to stop this? Stop the cause of the miseries. Ye dharma he the prabhava he tum desham tata gato heva desham chayo nirodha. The cessation of all the causes of miseries is taught by the great seer. We need to know how to stop the cause of the miseries. Given that the ignorance lies at the core of the cause of the miseries, we need to eradicate this. How do you eradicate this? By introducing a very powerful remedy. What is that remedy? The remedy is none other than wisdom. Which wisdom? The wisdom to see that everything is like a dream. So, what is wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. And what's reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, let's quickly meditate on somebody who you love so much, your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, your children, or just a friend, or anyone. You can just visualize somebody who you love so much. We'll see the emptiness of that person. How we're being deceived in seeing that person's subject real. Okay, what are you seeing? I'm seeing my mom, dad, or somebody who you love so much, your child, somebody you love so much, your brother, sister, or somebody who you love so much. Okay, how does the person appear to you? Like a dream that your mind is creating it? Or no, it has nothing to do with my so objectified, so solidly there, to the extent that it's this ability to disturb my emotions. Okay, that belief that this person exists so objectively real, so solidified there, this is known as self-grasping ignorance. How do you know that this ignorance? How come this ignorance? This is so valid. The person is indeed objectified, so solidly there, outside, independent of my mind. This is the self-grasping ignorance. Believing that the person, while the person is like a dream, purely coming from your mind, you're projecting it as so independent of your mind. This self-grasping ignorance. Can we evaluate that this ignorance is not a valid object? Yes. To evaluate this, remember what Arjuna taught. If the mirage would be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if this person to whom I love so much, if this person would exist objectively, why don't I see this person as I go closer to this object? Going closer to the object is known as subjecting the person to ultimate analysis. Subjecting the person to ultimate analysis, anything which is not this person, simply ignore. Okay, now let us subject this person to ultimate analysis. First, we see a very thin layer of the skin of that person. Of course, that is not identified as subjective as this person. Ignore this. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the cartilages, the muscles, the whole skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the liver, pancreas, intestine, and so forth. All these constitute all the solid part constitute the element of earth. Element of earth is not identified as intrinsically, as objectively as the person. Ignore this. Next, element of water. 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart with different muscles, but of course that is not the person. And the element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy of this person, in other words, body heat. That's also not that person. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in out through your lungs, through that person's lungs. Of course, that is not this person. Element of space, 99.99% of the person's body is vacuum, but this person is solid, and in fact, the air, the space is vacuum. So even the element of space is also not that person. What is left? The person's mind is left, and this person is a male. This person is a female. And this person's mind does not have a gender. Gender is possible on the basis of the body. And also that I can see this person, but I cannot see the person's mind. So the element of the mind is also not the person. Okay, now delete this. So now you have come too close to the object. If the person does it subjectively, you'll be able to identify that now. What are you seeing now? I'm just seeing 6 elements. Which of 6 elements is this person? None. Okay, stay in this experience for a while. That amongst the 6 elements, nowhere do you find an objectively existent self, independent of the mind. That's true. Now, if this self is not to be identified amongst any part of the 6 elements, remove these 6 elements to see if this self does exist as objectively independent of these 6 elements, different from these 6 elements. Different from this, nothing is left there. Stay in this experience for a while. These are the only 2 possibilities for this person to exist as objectively, and given that both the possibilities are ruled out, what is left? Nothing's left there to be seen as that the person who I love. It's just vacuum, it dissolves. Stay in this experience for a while. Amazing. This is a very powerful practice. So powerful. Revolutionizing practice. But what's the benefit of this? Yes. Just as when you subject this person to this ultimate analysis, a tinge of fear comes to you when you love this person. And in some cases, goosebumps can come in a body. Tickling sensations can happen in the body. And the cold waves can flow through the bodily skin. It can, for some, extremely tranquil feeling will come. And if you do feel a tinge of fear, don't take that as a negative omen. This is a very positive omen. That keep practicing this, and this fear will be replaced by incredible tranquility, which we have never experienced before. Extreme tranquil feeling, serenity, beautiful feeling. Just as this person is dissolved in this experience and the various profound experience dawns in me, likewise you subject all your miseries, all your sorrow to this ultimate analysis. They are just like illusion. They all dissolve. Amazing. The moment you see that all these sorrows and all these miseries, they dissolve the experience of emptiness, the mental tension, stress, they all disappear. And they leave room for the peace to dawn in you. This is what the Buddha indicated as the 4th seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while. While normally people talk about renunciation as renouncing miseries, or nirvana as freedom from miseries, but the real understanding of nirvana is that emptiness, in the experience of which all the miseries are transcended, where the peace dawns. That is nirvana. And the aspiration, may I experience this emptiness, where all my sorrows are transcended. This is actually understanding of renunciation. Very profound experience of meditation, the renunciation. Stay in this experience for a while. May I experience this emptiness at all times, so that within which all my misery, sorrow, stress dissolve. We just slowly come out of this practice. Take a few seconds gap, rest before we move to the bodhicitta. Are you ready? For bodhicitta, we do the practice of the 4 immeasurables, and yes, we are all recommended to do the 2 methods separately. The sevenfold cause of a method to generate bodhicitta, and the method of equalizing exchanges for self-others to generate bodhicitta. In group, usually I do the forest immeasurables, given that the managing the time for these two methods. When you do on your own, these two must not be missed. Okay, ready? For immeasurables. And that many people reported to me that this practice of four measurables is so superficial. My mind doesn't really resonate with what we are meditating. It's very superficial, and it's just superficial. I don't really feel anything. While the words are very powerful, but I don't feel anything. It doesn't really resonate with my thinking. My thinking is very different. I don't feel that may all sentient beings be free from suffering. I don't feel that. This is what many people say, and they're right. And if it does happen to you, don't worry. Don't worry. The reality is that this means of the practice. If that is so natural coming, you don't require practice. You just invoke it, you get it, and then you stay in this experience. Then you got it happens. So therefore, the practice means where you don't have these experiences, and we are trying to make this happen piece by piece, step by step, one break at a time. Okay, so don't feel worried at all. Don't worry at all. Just know that you have the Buddha nature, and by taking steps, eventually you reach there. It's like practicing the music, practicing the keyboard. First, you mimic the teachers as to which keys to press. You press, no music, only noise comes out. So the noise does not resonate with the music, but you keep practicing it. Eventually, it becomes music. This is exactly the meaning of the practice. Practice music, practicing Dharma. Ready? Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness, and the cause of happiness primarily consisting of the most appealing mind of the bodhicitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like the mother, after all these many years of raising children, today, eldest daughter just aged 12 and eldest son just aged 11, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, Mom, please take rest. You have done everything for us, and you love us so much. You shower so much love upon us, and we too love you. And we are grown up, we'll take care of all our siblings. And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. Tears of joy coming out. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They are so happy and proud for you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassionate minds of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and all sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars for the bodies is yours, instills in all happiness, and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings in yourself. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths. Sigh with the relief. Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. Causes of suffering primarily consisting of all the contaminated karmas, particularly the destructive, negative, non-virtuous karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude. May all my dear Mother Sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear Mother Sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they are intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all Dharma sentient beings. Their mere touch of lights and nectars with the body space yours washes away all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the Dharma sentient beings and yourself. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the Dharma sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths and sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the dream making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy and proud for you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all Dharma sentient beings. Their mere touch of lights and nectars with the body's beings yours stabilizes the happiness and causes happiness that the beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the Dharma sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. Instead, abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other Dharma sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like their mother after all these many years of raising her children, with so much hardship raising her children, today, the eldest daughter aged 12 and the eldest son just aged 11, 2 of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mom, please take rest. You have showered so much love affection to us. Unbelievable love and affection is what you showered on us. Now, we're already grown up. We'll take care of our siblings. We love you so much." And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so amazed, so happy. And this happiness and the joy invoke the compassionate minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all Dharma sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body's beings yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, leaving none aside. and you're witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all of dimensional beings. You're intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound the relief. Underscoring all the four measurables is unconditional love towards other beings. Abiding this experience for a while, to the extent that all beings feel themselves so special in your eyes. And this universal love that you practice, that you generate now, this is the foundation for bodhicitta. This is the foundation. This is the ground. This is the fabric. This is the drive which makes you to attain Buddhahood, total fearlessness, and infinite happiness for yourself and for all the dimensional beings. Amazing. This is to be celebrated. With folded hands, let us make a bodhicitta commitment 3 times together. And imagine all sentient beings are joining you. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abide in this most beautiful mind of the bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in the entire universe. Abide in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of bodhicitta into a spotless, clean moon-disk, white moon-disk, horizontally sitting in the heart. It's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha for the benefit of all Dharma sentient beings. But remember, no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yet I know that I'm not like a handful of sand. I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds. I have the Buddha nature within me. Putting effort, this Buddha nature will manifest. But if this were the case, how come that it is not manifested since time immemorial till today? Yes, this is all because that, you're right, this is all because that I'm being deceived by the two demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Then what are you going to do? I'm going to do to exterminate these two at any cost. What are you going to do? I'm going to introduce a very powerful remedy to overcome these two. What is that remedy? The non-dual wisdom of non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas, the wisdom of emptiness. What is that like? Let us quickly retrieve the meditation on emptiness, which we did as 3rd seal out of the 4 seals. Okay, you're the person you love so much in front of you. How does this person appear to you? Like a dream or a soul objectified there? Yeah, of course, soul objectified there. Okay. Let's evaluate that by remembering what Nagarjuna taught. It's a mirage, but with water. Just see if you can remember these 2 lines and say this by heart on your own. If the mirage, let us all say this 3 times together. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay. Now we have to go closer to see if the person actually exists objectively. So this is known as subjecting the person to ultimate analysis. Subjecting person to ultimate analysis, just ignore whatever is not this person. You're only interested in objectively existing the person, the one you love so much. Going closer, you see the thin layer of the skin, and then you see the fatty tissues, the whole skeleton, the heart, lungs, all these solid parts constitute the element of earth. Of course, the element of earth is not about identified as intrinsic as the cell. There is this person. Element of, for example, within this the element of earth and this whole skeleton. If you see that the skeleton, who otherwise you describe as a very your beloved person, But if the skeleton comes to you in the night, it's very scary. You will not love it. It's very scary. You will run. But this is the reality there. So, but the thing is that nothing is to be found among the six elements: element water, element fire, air, space, consciousness. None of these six elements are to be found as objective as self. That's true. If these six elements which you have found upon subjecting the personal ultimate analysis, if these are not to be identified as a self, remove them to see if this that person does exist as different from these six elements. Remove the six elements, what happened? Nothing's there. Stay in this experience. Objectively, there is no self. It's just the closer you go, the self disappears. In that experience, stay in this experience where in the person objectively is empty, nowhere to be seen. Objectively stay in this experience for a while. Okay, slowly transform this most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotless and clean, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the Montesquieu heart. Okay, amazing now. You have the moon, which is conventional bodhicitta. This guarantees to exterminate the self-centered attitude. And Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, but it's the non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. Wow. This is a blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas. This is a blaze of the true bodhicittas in the form of non-duality. It's amazing. That guarantees that your mental developments will be exterminated, and that you will experience a total fearlessness, infinite happiness, which you have been aspiring to attain since beginner's time. That's amazing. Meanwhile, don't forget that your two parents and all of your family members and your children, all demon sentient beings are suffering terribly. Yes, I know that invoke a very intense, strong compassion. And this compassion invokes your Vajramuni to heart to multiply infinite number of times. And share one set of Vajramuni at the heart of your mother, one set with the heart of your father, one set with each one of family members, including children, one with each of sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits here in Deer Park, in India, in your own country, in the entire world, in the entire universe. All the tiny creatures to the biggest of the creatures, they got the share of the Vajramuni from you. Amazing. Meanwhile, let us also not forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Yes, why not we invite all Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the guest as well as the witness to undertaking the ceremony of taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So, as gesture of making this request, along with all demon sentient beings, let us slowly start to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, see if you can sit on the right knees. If you have knee problem or the back problem, any problem, just sit in the most comfortable position. Those who have no such issues, on your right knees for the time being. Page 50. And in between, if you feel the pain, then sit down. The pain should not stop us from the reflections, and the reflection is the most important thing. So since that we already know the meanings of these verses, wholeheartedly just invoke all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas watching us. You have invited them. and they are there, like your parents, page 50, 40, the 50. Okay. And just visualize, like, they just imagine that you are a little girl, just 5 years old, or a little boy, 5 years old. For the first time in your life, you're making public appearance on behalf of your school, like dance competition, essay competition, whatever, or quiz, debate competition, whatever. And you have made the first public appearance on behalf of your school. And your parents that day, whatever they have to do that day, they just leave everything behind to come to give you moral support. They join the audience, they wave their hands to you, saying that we are here, we are so proud of you. And it's exactly what all the Bodhisattvas are doing today. And you, as a very little girl, little boy, extremely responsible child, you bring with you all the siblings to encourage them to also learn how to take part in these programs. This is exactly what you're doing. You're bringing all your siblings, like the sentient beings, with you to take this as Bodhisattva vow, so that the mental defilements will be removed completely, that they can stop all the tears and the fears of samsara. So with this mind, imagine that you are leading this practice and all beings are joining you through your encouragement, and wholeheartedly reflect on the meanings of the words. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the amount of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelled in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successful train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelled in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successful train the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the amount of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the amount of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I do successful train the bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received the aspiration bodhisattva vow. And indeed, this is something to be celebrated. There's nothing greater than this to be celebrated. And today you did it. It's amazing. And the best way by which to repay the kindness of your parents, of this life, of the former lives, of the previous lives, and so forth. In other words, all the demonstration beings. This is the best thing as a gift for them, and today you've gifted this gift to all new demonstration beings. And of all the offerings that you can make to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, there's nothing greater than this. Buddha himself proclaimed that one moment of generating compassion far excels they make offering of the whole universe, filling the whole universe with the precious gems, diamond, gold, silver, and so forth, and offering them all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what is the mention of our having taken the aspiration Bodhisattva vow? So today you have made the greatest offerings to all Buddhas Bodhisattvas. And with your life, there's nothing more purposeful than what you did today. You've given such a purpose to your life, and all these wonders are happening all because of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Let the mother feel so proud of you. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel so proud for you. And this pride and the happiness Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke the Vajramana at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes your heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the replicas of Vajramana from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes at the heart of your father, mother, each one of the family members, including children, and each of the tiny insects, animals, hungry ghosts, helpings, god and goddess spirits here in Deer Park, in your own country, in the entire oceans, forests, wilderness, the Milky Way galaxy, and the entire universe. Amazing. Thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. And this is the wonder happening. This amazing, great, the source to be celebrated. And all these wonders happening because of the blessings of Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them, again let us, along with all demonstrations, let us slowly stand to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. And let us turn to page 51. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the course of my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, with those with discernment who have loosely seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way, shall highly praise in the following manner. I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I'm one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on, never shall disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the suffering of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates the poverty of the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is a tree that shelters wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the adornment of the mind that dispels the torment of death. It is the great sun that finally removes the mystic. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy with and I shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite all the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Okay, interrogation prayer. Let us pray that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, live forever, with good health and knees recover as soon as possible. And that His Holiness's vision of the universal ethics, now taking the form of social, emotional, ethical learning, made it spread far and wide all over in the world, in all the institutions, all the academic schools, and colleges, universities, and eventually be adopted by the UNO as the resolution, one of the most important resolutions for the world, that the future world, all wars and everything stops, that everybody can take a fresh breath of air of peace, happiness, and harmony and joy. May the teaching bodhicitta and wisdom and emptiness flourish in the minds of all demon sentient beings. With this mind, I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhists and Bodhisattvas all 3 times, and to the holding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, the perfect way in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds pismized the planet of ignorance. Tirtha Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasamgate Bodhisvaha Tirtha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Tirtha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Tirtha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha